Yeah, WTMH Live, WTMH Live, WTMH Live. Can't miss a beat, don't close your eyes. You want the realest of the real, well, here we go. Hip hop and R&B live in stereo. We got the scoop like magic in the house. All the details, yeah, you know what that's about. We got the rumors, we got the facts, we got the city on our back. Now you can't stop that. The freshest content nationally and locally, giving you the real deal as the way it's supposed to be. DJ Quiet Storm and non-stop, got the whole world about to pop. You want drama? That's what we got. All the news you can handle soon as it drops. We on Bounce TV 23, Saturday 7 p.m. I have to say, this the place you go for the info. WTMH Live, simple.
Taking off on the 1-9, you already know what it is. Fleet DJs in the building, State of Hip Hop.
Getting riled up.
Good, y'all. You are here. It is the Magnificent 7 Countdown. I am your auntie's favorite DJ. Am I looking in this camera or that camera?
This is the private show of the Magnificent 7 Countdown video show. Glad you can join me. Welcome to my living room. And we're going to get things started today.
How y'all doing? Happy Friday. Welcome to the Magnificent 7 Countdown Show. I am your auntie's favorite DJ. DJ Lane Love is in the building, and I'm so excited because this show is just dedicated to all the hard workers out there who really put effort into their art. And really, I do a lot of screening. When I surf online and I look for different guests to invite on the show, I really see who's been putting in the work. Being in this business for over 20 years and having a family, of course, that has a large musical background, you know, I definitely know what music is supposed to sound like, and I know what art is supposed to look like. So when I place the call to my guest today, I was actually surprised that he accepted the offer. We've been both blessed to actually have a gig down at the Pelican Room, so as soon as he leaves here, he's actually leaving the studio and going right to his gig tonight, so make sure you check him out. I will give you all the information a little bit later. But again, man, this show is growing by leaps and bounds. Big shout out to my, I don't like to call them my staff, I mean, I work for them too, right? So it's the WTMH staff. Shout out to George, Brandon, Lakai. DeMond Cherry's in the building too. So, you know, those people, you know, they rig me when I ain't doing good, and, you know, they uplift me when, you know, I do a good job. So I really appreciate them. About a month or two ago, my man George sent Brandon down right after the Melanin Living show and said, hey, Lane, you know, we want you to have a show. And I was like, I only know how to present music. This is what I know how to do. He was like, we'll do that. So that's how the Magnificent 7 show came about. The name actually was a segment on my radio show, which was, you know, the hottest 7 songs around Ohio. So I was just really trying to reach out to a lot of Ohio artists, being that I'm a Fleet DJ manager of Ohio. We look for talent all over Ohio. But the reason why the name of the show is spelled the way that it is of course dedicated to the late great King 7. King 7 was a good friend of mine and a great friend of our guest that's getting ready to come on the show later on. But that's why we spell it 7 EVEN in dedication to the late great King 7. I shout him out every single show because if you only knew, you walk with him, you talk with him, you know this man was a man of stage presence, and that's where I get a lot of my stage presence from. So shout out and rest in peace to the memory of King 7. Now, as far as getting into the number 7 video today, I got a cousin, friend, brother. His name is DJ Jama. And he's growing by leaps and bounds. I'm so proud of him. He was supposed to be on the show today, but actually he has to do something with his brother for Athletics Association, so he couldn't be here today. But he did send me a couple videos from the 330. I'm not sure if it's from Massillon or wherever. You know, 330 is a big, large area in Ohio. So he said, man, if you could, please, oh, please, oh, please, play my guy. I would really appreciate it. So we're going to play him. I'm going to do that, but first, if you're not doing nothing tomorrow, Festival of Color. These girls was on the show last week. Soca-listas Worldwide. They came through. Melinda came through. Pipers came through. I forget the girl's name, but charge it to my head, not my heart. But they came through. They danced for us. They gave us a great interview. And the fellas was loving in the back, and so was I. I was happy to be a part of that. You know, I got pats on my back after inviting the ladies to the show. So thank you. And if you're not doing nothing tomorrow, it goes down. Festival of Color, July 13th, 12 to 9 p.m. They're going to be out there doing a lot of stuff. It's culture, you know, soca, the soca culture, dancing, and just having a good time. I'm sure it's going to be great food out there as well. So please check my homegirls out because they're doing a really good job in the community. Now, getting into the number 7 video, we're going to get into Khan's Fade, straight out the 330 by way of my cousin Jama. We got you on deck. Let's get it.
Maybe the greatest of all time fadeaway jumper from the baseline. The fadeaway,
Still gon' be that nigga when I'm 45. Getting drunk and getting faded, bitch, I'm high. It's you down, baby, please don't waste my time. Time is money, I got money on my mind. But don't mind me. I'm just born. Fade away. Michael Jordan. I do me. That's fair warning. So jump off, bitch. Michael Jordan. Oh, you was the man, I ain't get the memo. I ain't get it. You a op, you a goofy nigga, you a bimbo. Pay me now or pay me no mind, like my hundreds tenfold. Right. Remember back when niggas threw my CD out the window. Now I'm flexing on them, I'm stunting on them, in the stressful for them, cause I'm one up on them. They ain't see it coming, they ain't believe the vision, they ain't have faith in the process. I done told you suckers, I don't owe you nothing, all I'm trying to do is make progress. Hey, I don't sweat these niggas, I don't even see them. Nah, never. I don't stress these bitches, I won't ever need them. Nope, never. Put it on the line for my fam, though. For the fam, for the buyer, and I need 500 grand, though. Liquor, weed, I'm playing 45. Getting drunk and getting faded, bitch, I'm high. If you ain't down, then don't hop up in my ride. Don't waste my time. Time is money, I got money on my mind. But don't mind me. I be scoring. I fade away. I'm Michael Jordan. I do me. And that's important. So jump off, bitch. Just like Jordan.
We back in. Homegirl's name is Brianna, as a matter of fact, so I did check that out. Soca-listas Worldwide going down tomorrow. Check that out. I'm your auntie's favorite DJ. You are now watching the Magnificent 7 Countdown show. And like I said, the first time I asked this gentleman to come on my show, he actually turned me down. And I'm going to talk to him about it when he come out here. It was a Power 107.5. It was about 7 to 8 years ago. But if you know Crate Digger, you know he's that guy. He's very selective about who he shares his intellectual real estate with. And, you know, it was just a growing relationship. Some people will say Crate Digger's a hard read, and he'll agree with you that he definitely is a hard read, but that's the artist inside of him. So, you know, before we bring him out, I actually want to play you a couple of things that, you know, if you don't know, please get familiar with the legendary DJ Crate Digger. We're going to play 2 of them. Let's go.
Presidents to represent me. I'm out for presidents to represent me.
5 carats in my baby girl ear. Lunches, brunches, interviews by the pool. Considered a fool cause I dropped out of high school. Stereotypes of a black male misunderstood. And it's still all good. And if you don't know, now you know. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. Super Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. 50-inch screen, money green, leather sofa. Got 2 rides, a limousine with the chauffeur. Phone bill about 2 G's black. No need to worry, my accountant handles that. And my whole crew is lounging, celebrating every day, no more public housing. Thinking back on my one room set, now my mom puts the actress mixed on her back. And she loves to show me off, of course. Smiles every time I face it up in the store.
And there he is, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to introduce to some and present to others. If you are from the Columbus area, I have this man in the building. This is none other than the legendary DJ Crate Digger. What's
going on,
good, baby?
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well, man. As he is in his cool demeanor.
I'm just chilling. I heard you mention that I said no before, and I was like, I probably did, but I was thinking like 7 or 8 years ago. That was 2010, 2011. I don't even know what I was doing at the time, but
yeah, man. But you carry that reputation as a hard read sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you entertain that, or do you wish people didn't perceive you that way?
So I understand why people feel that way. I get it. It's not that I don't care, but it's just like I don't have time to kind of entertain the idea of presenting myself to make other people comfortable.
Yeah.
And also, I'm just not the type of person who kind of wears their, like, I don't, like, what I say is how I feel and what I mean, so I don't have to put on the show. So, like, if my knee hurts, I don't gotta, I'm not doing all that. I'm like, yo, my knee hurts. And that's me. So it's like, I don't feel like I have to put on the show for what I'm saying to be received.
Right. Now, the thing is like, as I'm reading your hat, sorry, no request.
Yeah.
That's the name of the show, right?
Yeah. It's online. So I got a web series online. What it is, I basically give 60 minutes to DJs to come on. I say, play what you want, play it how you want. So if you want to come on with 3 boom boxes and a mixer, or if you want to use a controller, turntables, wax, whatever you want to, however you present music, you got 60 minutes to do it your way. I'm not going to tell what you play. I'm not going to let other people tell you what to play. So it's about letting DJs and kind of present music how they present music. Yeah.
So I got a story.
Yeah. I got a couple myself.
A young lady said she was at a club one night. And she came up to the DJ booth and she said, I think it was Crate Digger that was there that night.
Might have been.
And she said, can you play? And it was a popular song of the day. And like she said, like you gave her this iciest grill, and she never came and approached the DJ booth later that night. So I'm pretty sure during the length of your career, you've gotten
those, you've given that look a lot.
Probably, yeah.
Now, is it because, okay, so I talked to O one time, and O said, you have DJs, but Crate is an artist. So basically, he already knows how he wants to present the music. Is that right?
For the most part, yeah. So I don't remember this specific because it's happened numerous times where people come up and ask. So I'll start by saying I personally, myself, Crate Digger, speaking only for Crate Digger, I have a general kind of theory about requests. There's two type of requests.
Okay.
Something that I'm gonna play, it's a no-brainer, or something that nobody wants to hear except for you. So if you come up to me and ask me, yo, you gonna play City Girls? If it's like the #2 song in the nation,
probably gonna play.
I'll probably play it. Am I gonna play it at 9:02? No. But you asking me to play one of the hottest songs out,
you're gonna oblige.
Yeah, of course I'm gonna play it. Now, am I gonna play it now, next? Probably not. Or if you come up to me at 1:57 and I've already done last final call and I'm shutting down and I'm in a zone and I'm closing out, and you want to hear this because you just happen to come to my spot as the last spot on your tour of clubs, I might get it on, I might not. Then I have people come up to me and ask me to play Celine Dion. Never ever in my life have I ever had any inclination to play any Celine Dion at anything I've ever done.
Right.
So if I were to stop on a Friday night and just say in the Cove, in the middle of the Cove on Friday night, 12:30, I drop some Celine Dion. I'm out of a job.
But I've seen you drop Rock With You, Michael Jackson, coming out of a trap set. Now, how do you have the courage to say, I'm gonna drop Rock With You right here?
So two things. I will say, and I'll be very honest, and hopefully this is received the right way. I've been a DJ for 22 years, and I've been a good DJ for a vast majority of that time. Some now, once again, to be honest, and I can be objective even in the context of speaking of myself, some people have said that I've been a great DJ for more than half of my career.
Right.
So there comes a point where, because I am who I am, I kind of have the leverage to kind of do things that other people can't maybe get away with.
Right.
So there's times where I take that opportunity to be like, because I can do this, I'm going to do this.
Right.
And then there's other times where doing this isn't about these two songs. It's about how the overall arc of my performance or my presentation, my message, whatever I'm trying to do for that 3 hours, 4 hours, or even if it's a 45-minute set.
Right.
That storyline requires me to go from here to here.
Right.
So if you're so focused on this song and this song, you're missing how the 3 songs before that set this up and how this drops here, but the payoff is 5 songs down the road.
Right.
So sometimes it's those one-to-one connections, and sometimes you got to understand that the character that does this in the first 20 minutes of the movie,
right,
that shit don't come back around until the end, and you're like, oh,
you
shit,
done missed it. Right.
But you're so worried about how these two things fit and then turning the page, and then why does this? So if you don't have that vision, I get it. Everybody doesn't have it, and it's not, and that's not a thing where DJs have it and everybody else don't. Some DJs don't have that vision. But kind of like what you were saying, of what O says.
Courage, though.
I mean, yeah, but
not
in the
for you,
end,
right?
well, no, it is to an extent. But at the same time, it's like, I'm me. For better or for worse, I'm me.
Right.
So there's going to be times whether it's, and we're going to talk, I'm sure we're going to talk about this later. So whether it's telling someone that what I, and that not necessarily think about them, but what I think about a situation, a decision, blah, blah, blah. Like, how I feel is how I feel.
Right.
Agree with me, disagree with me, don't get
Indifferent.
it. I'm cool, but I'm not going to not be me.
So we're going to talk, when we come back from the next video, we're going to talk about a culture that you created. And it's called Foundation Fridays.
Cool.
So that's when I heard a lot of DJs taking the original and then playing whatever, it was sampled by. So when we come back, we're going to talk about Foundation Fridays. Is that cool?
Cool. Yeah. All right. So get into the number 6 video. We're going to kill this ghost DJ when we come back. But as far as Camille So Dope, right? She has been doing so many things in the community, and she has So Dope Sundays. And anytime she has something to present to the public, I always, show love. So she came out with a new video earlier this week, and I said, hey, it's on the countdown. All you got to do is say the word. So here it is, the number 6 video, What Can We Do by Camille. Let's get it. Magnificent 7 Countdown Show.
songs and y'all did,
But it's like, as far as, welcome back to Magnificent 7. We just keep it conversational. I got my man DJ Crate Diggers in the building, man. And when I get a musician, a true musician, I can talk that music talk. And I'm just so glad that he came on the show. There was a tweet that came out about a month ago. No, it was for your birthday, so it was about 2 or 3 months ago. And, you gave my cousin a shout out. You said, DJ Jamin definitely did his thing. And, going back to you being a hard read, what impresses Crate Digger when you listen to another DJ set?
Generally speaking, like hearing them be themselves. It's like we were saying, it's like if you're just going to get up and play the same songs that are on the radio or the same songs that I can walk across the street or to another club and hear that same thing, you're doing yourself a disservice because you make yourself replaceable. Or if you're really doing yourself a disservice, like if you're just going to play these songs and not have no life and not really tell a story, A computer can do that.
Right,
And
right.
unfortunately, a lot of people think all DJs are created equal. So they feel like, oh, we don't really need a DJ. Just let the playlist go. Let the laptop or let the Spotify or whatever. So my thing is like, regardless if I know the song, whether you do it the way I would do it, or like, I don't care about none of that shit. I just want you to come up and be an artist. It's like going to the movies. It's like, even pick any movie. That storyline likely has been told 5, 7, 50,000 different ways.
Right.
But however you tell it, make it dope, and the way you tell it to where I'm like, okay, I know the story, but the way you presented it is dope. You presented it in your way, in your voice, with your characters or whatever. It don't have to be the best that I've ever seen. It don't have to be brand new and something I've never seen. But don't give me the same movie just because that movie was popular.
Exactly. I read a write-up about you, maybe about a good, almost 8 years ago. It was by Donna Marbury.
Okay.
And she had mentioned how you were brave enough to come up with a night called Foundation Fridays. And from that night that you created, it created a culture to where there's a lot more DJs now looking for the foundation of the samples that we know and love and we hear every day. Tell the audience like how you came up with Foundation Fridays.
So I've been a fan of music like a long time. So I grew up listening to, Michael, Stevie, insert classic R&B, soul, reggae artists here. But including funk. So like I grew up listening to a lot of these songs. So as I got older and moved into kind of having a hip hop sensibility, hearing how Pete Rock flipped this, hearing how Ed O.G. rapped over this, and understanding like, oh, that's that. These songs are the same song, or
Right.
So as I moved into DJing, using those songs as kind of not necessarily transitions, but connecting those dots, because it wasn't just me growing up listening to Roy Ayers and Everybody Loves the Sunshine.
Right.
That's classic. So people have a recognition of that. Even the cats who listen to hardcore, trap this, gangster this, blah, blah, blah. When they were little kids, mom was in the house listening to classic soul. Pops was listening to funk or blues or whatever.
Yeah.
So those influences musically, it's not new.
Yeah.
So bringing it back and touching it, you don't have to go all into it and have a whole hour of blue light music. We don't have to go into a whole hour of mason jar sipping music.
Okay.
But touching on it and being like, yo, I know y'all remember this because y'all had the same childhood growing up experiences that I had.
Right.
But this is how we use that in our voice. So this is telling that story through a hip hop voice. Or this is telling that story through a reggae voice. Or this is telling that story through a trap, EDM, insert whatever genre. Once again, it's the same story with different characters told through different voices and through different lenses, but it's all really the same experience and the same story. So being able to relate those things, for me, I won't say it was a no-brainer, but it wasn't like that hard to do. It's not an idea I created. It's something that that other DJs had done before. But once again, like we said, because it's a lot of people weren't doing it, it's almost like, well, that's an idea other people may have had, but because somebody didn't do it first, to show it was okay,
Right.
I don't know.
And the funny thing is, like, when we listen to your set, we can hear your influences. We can hear your Jazzy Jeff influences. We can hear your Pete Rock influences. And you will pay homage to these sets within your set. I've seen you do a DJ Jazzy Jeff routine or a Jam Master Jay routine. And, especially in the club now, you can actually almost get people to stop dancing. They'd be like, okay, what is he what is he doing? But then I know that you're a fan of Flash too. And so Flash said when he first started, that was the trouble he had is displaying art, but still getting the people to be entertained and to dance. Is that kind of the frustration you have?
So I won't say it's a frustration I have, but I see it and I understand how from different pockets, whether it's the club owners, whether it's other people who are there, like I understand it from outside of myself. But once again, for me, because I grew up listening to so many different types of music and not just American or black music, like West African influences, like my first musical experience outside of listening to music with my parents as a kid was African drumming. So understanding African drumming, polyrhythms, how all of these things come together with different instruments to create drum orchestras
Yeah.
and percussion orchestras, and not it just being percussive in the sense of timing, but still having melody and harmonies with drums and percussive instruments. So having that be my initial musical kind of education, and then translating it through different, once again, through different musical genres. Like as a performer and as a DJ, as an artist, it's my job to present my artistry to where I'm not just playing music.
Exactly.
I'm taking these different song pieces or genres, etc., and I'm putting them together. And now I'm not just putting them together, but now I'm putting my little thing on it, or showing that the same way if whoever's playing the piano, they can play the notes on the paper, but you can teach a monkey to do that. You can have a machine do that. When you play those notes, when Miles picks up the horn, he's not just playing the notes. He's playing and speaking through his instrument. For me as a DJ, the turntables are my instrument. So I'm going to speak and present and do all those things with my instrument.
Exactly.
And sometimes people are, in part because a lot of folks don't do it or it's not seen in the same kind of magnitude or perspective that it was before, when almost everybody was using turntables in the hip hop DJ context. So a lot of people haven't seen live DJing like that.
Exactly.
They've heard DJs, and even sometimes you go to a club and the DJ is way up here or way over there, and sometimes I like it like that. But sometimes you don't physically see the DJ working. You just hear the product of it.
Exactly.
So to see a DJ physically backspinning or cutting, going back to back, switching hands, spinning around, body tricks, to see that in person, like the first time I saw that, first couple times I see it, and even when I see it now, I'm no longer worried about dancing. I'm like, God damn, that shit is dope.
Yeah.
So I get it, but in the end, it's like, once again, if I'm just up there playing music, I can be replaced.
Yeah. Now, it's funny, I came to a band playing one day, and I saw you on stage with the band. So we sit up there like, oh, Craig finna get busy. And Craig put on a guitar. I said, what this dude finna do? And you started playing, bro. And then there was another situation where, same situation, I'm thinking, okay, they got, because it's not uncommon for a band to play with a DJ.
Yeah.
But, you sit down at the drums, and you get busy. I'm like, oh, you a musician?
Yeah, I'm a musician.
So,
He plays music. Yeah, I mean.
And that takes time too. So how do you really own those two crafts while still being sharp in DJing?
So drumming is once again my first musical foray. So that I did that, and I still drum. Guitar is a lot newer. I started that 2011-ish.
Sure.
But inside of that, I don't really consider myself a guitar player. I just understand the instrument.
Yeah.
And I know, okay, once I understand the instrument, what is it that I'm trying to say with this instrument? And then I say what I have to say with that instrument. So if you, here's the chords, I'm like, all right, well, I don't play chords because I'm not a guitar player. But if I know what notes fit inside this piece we're doing, it's in A minor or whatever, I can play these notes.
Pause.
And then I could play up and down these 6 strings, and I could still, within those 6 notes that I can play within this chord combination, whatever I want to say, how I want to say it, how I want to move from note to note, whether I want to slide, pluck, double string, so really.
You gotta know what you're doing, because you wouldn't be able to sit down with band members if you didn't know what you were doing. So
I know what I'm doing, but I don't take it to the point where I'm like a guitar player. There's some guys who can play chords, who can move it. I don't. I understand my limitations, and I don't call myself a guitar player, in part because there's so many things I understand I can't do. But once again, as a musician, as an artist, I just need to understand the instrument to tell my story. It's kind of like a pen. It's like I don't need to know how to use a Bic versus a roller versus I don't need to know how to use every single pen in the world. I know how pens work.
Absolutely.
I know how pencils work. I know how markers work.
Definitely.
And now that I know how it basically works, what is it that I want to say with this tool?
And how do you play well with it? We got Craig Digger here, man. He's on the Magnificent 7 Countdown Show. When we come back, we are going to definitely talk about, for those who want to know, the infamous shutting of the laptop incident at the Redo. It is Redo folklore. I even wrote about it in one of my blogs, so we gonna get into it. I told him no topic was off limits, and he agreed as well, so we gonna talk about it. Getting into the number 5 video, it's my man Big Gotti. He is definitely from Toledo. My man AG on the beat, who used to, do some work with me. He always shoots me new music, so I definitely told him I would get on the countdown. This is what it's all about. Ohio artists, this show is for you. It's one thing to put your video up on World Stars, one thing to upload your video on YouTube, but when you actually have somebody presenting the music, it kind of takes it a little bit further, and that's what I do, that's what the Fleet DJs do as well. So please take advantage of us, please take advantage of this show. Got Crate Digger here, getting into the number 5 video, Big Gotti and Paco. Blocker, right here. Let's get it.
Some people just talk because they got a mouth, you know what I'm saying? This shit might be too real. I understand that. You might not get this shit for like 5 years. I might be dead, who knows? Just know I want local. Block in the cut, that's a scary sight. Mama praying for me, I ain't living right. Kick a dope, fuck a hoe in the same night. The stove always on, the stove always on. I can cook it blindfold, cut off the kitchen lights. Some be wanting Molly, some be wanting ice. Go, they get on both, with the prices right. I ain't rockin' no Giuseppe, but my drink is spiked. I smoke Becky after Becky, I can't get no hot. I'm Gotti, bitch, I'm Gotti, I don't need no stop. My city like Iraqi, gotta keep the gotta call a homie down, he a lot. He be racking up the money, think he Michael Mike. These niggas got the juice till they get it spot. I just call the player Kroger's, call the player. I'ma get this money till the day I die. Wishing on the star, do a fair time. Gotti kept the poker in the child line. I ain't never going home, we think he taking mine. I cause a lot of pain, I wanna see you smile. I'm wishing on a star in a foreign car.
Big dollars take this far, they can't hold us up. When you came home, you said we bout to power up. Get the drop on, going crazy, monkey nuts. We be tearing up the scene like we ain't used to stuff. Extraordinary niggas, they ain't used to us. From 2 different places, but met in a bus. They could disconnect the plug, but still we powered up. When it rains and pour, it get you showered up. So good in our position, this shit telecut. Throw your shade, ain't shit that you can tell a slut. They on our dick so bad, you can tell them what.
I best believe every time I pull up in, I got people, man, real niggas down there, man. Can pull up on the car and make that call and everything 1,000. A lot of y'all can't do that, man. It just ain't no Ohio shit either, though. Feel me? Everywhere, baby.
Big Gotti, baby, I can get you out of here.
Wishing on a star, X by the jaw. Wishing on a star in a foreign car. Whoever thought I would ever make it far. I've been to Haliback, always kept a pack. Gotti cool with the snakes cause they kill the rats. Bullets if they sack like a quarterback. I'm scoring on these niggas like a layup. We was hungry, couldn't sleep, we had to stay up. My nigga take your life, he don't play much. The crackers gave him life, he don't pray much. Niggas got a mouth, so they say stuff. You hard on the neck, bitch, I hope you stay tough. When you see my niggas slide in that gray truck, niggas hopping out like the raid truck. They left us in the jungle, they ain't save us. Why the fuck you think the 40 got a laser? I made it back with the bag, it's amazing. In the trenches with the demons serving angel. Burberry frames, I can see the angles. I'm down to die by this shit, I see no danger. Big Gotti powered up, now I'm major. Don't ever let a nigga think he major. Run up on me, I'ma have the front pager. Big Gotti, he be shooting like he pager. But the phone, bitch, hit me on my page. I bought that bitch a bag, now she think I love her. I had to cut her off, had to punch her brother. My mother always said I was a motherfucker. Granddaddy died, hate to see Miss Helen. God, why my big brother have to be a
driving me crazy.
Welcome back to the Magnificent 7 Countdown. I'm your auntie's favorite DJ, DJ Lane Love in the building. Thank you so much to the staff back in the back just making this show so great. Please share this on your page if you would. Please like it. We're just trying to get as many people as we can in Ohio. When I started the show, of course, it was always reminiscent of the Funky Rock Show, Rap City, Yo MTV Raps, and that's what I want to create for Ohio artists, because who else is going to look out for you but an Ohio native who understands the music and is around here? So I understand the vision and what people are trying to do, from the eclectic to the, the trap to, what I'm saying, we just want to get out here and do our thing. Please come get at me if you're trying to get on this show, all right? But, we got my man Crate Diggers in the building, man. Appreciate you.
Still here.
He's still here. He ain't left yet. Even after I told you about the Power 175 story. It's all good, though. But we're going to get into Redo Folklore, right?
Okay.
But let's give them a little bit of history, because the Redo started at the Garage Bar.
So Redo started at the Garage Bar. My man DJ D Boogie. I don't want to name the names because I know I'm gonna leave somebody else, but it was D Boogie. It was Reese. Cornbread. Other folks. But idea was basically, whatever day of the week it is, whether you're doing Monday nights or happy hour, whether you're doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday clubs, Sundays, whatever you're doing, ideally, the vast majority of the time, you're DJing and playing music for other people.
Okay.
The idea of the Redo was to have DJs come together to DJ for other DJs, to play the stuff that we don't really get a chance to play out in public.
Right.
And I don't mean like 1 or 2 songs, but really to, like, how often can you do an 80s pop rock set?
Right.
You can get 3 or 4. You can get, you can get some Michael McDonald or some Queen or whoever. But how deep can we go into that? Where can you go and do 30 minutes, an hour of that? You usually can't.
Right.
So having those opportunities, or for example, J. Ross specifically, where can he go and do an hour of just Brazilian music and all the different genres of Brazilian music?
Right.
He can't do that in the club. Not here. So the Redo was about DJs coming together, DJing for other DJs, and we let, like, quote unquote civilians or other folks in to be flies on the wall. Like, this wasn't for them, but we're letting you in. We kind of let you.
Good to know.
Yeah, we kind of
let right here.
You kind of like, we letting you in to see this, but this isn't for. This ain't
for you.
Yeah, this isn't us performing for y'all. Y'all are guests into kind of like the clubhouse, so to speak.
Wow.
So we've had, countless DJs, whether they're local DJs, cats coming from Cincinnati, Toledo, Cleveland, even from Indianapolis and further. We've had, a lot of folks come through. But yeah, that's what the Redo is about.
So let's before we get into deeper into the folklore, let's talk about the terminology lean. Because that was a culture that started at the Redo, which was basically, if you were a new DJ, you would get leaned on by all the seasoned DJs. How did that whole thing start?
So there's a couple factors to that. That's not a new thing. Like, as a DJ, part of your, I don't want to quite call it training, but part of the process of being able to call yourself a DJ was to be put through those paces, through those tests.
Right,
so
to speak.
Yeah, so if we speak kind of traditionally about hip hop culture, like, there's certain things you had to do to be a DJ. You didn't just say, hey, I got a laptop, or I got these records, or I got this equipment, and now I'm a DJ. You had to carry records. You had to know music. You had to know how to hook up the system. You had to kind of put in that time. You had to, had to earn the opportunity to stand up in front of people and play music. And that's not something that we create. That is a hip-hop staple as far as DJs go.
Okay.
Now, through time, things have changed, and the process has kind of been tweaked and different things, but it's still not really any different. So now, taking it back to the Redo, the basic concept was the same. Like myself, anybody from the Usual Suspects, anybody from any DJ crew that was out. Like, we're in the clubs, so we have a name for ourselves. that doesn't mean we're the only DJs in the city or the only DJs around.
Sure.
So other folks, part of the redo was giving them an opportunity because they may not have residencies or affiliations to where they could do these other spots. Like, you're still welcome to be part of this because you're part of the DJ fraternity sorority. But just because you say you're a DJ,
we gonna see.
We gonna see. And part of we gonna see means I'm standing right here and I'm watching what you're doing. And I'm seeing what that fader movement is doing. I'm seeing how you tweaking or not tweaking. I'm seeing if you really blending or we watching. And part of like the lean specifically, like that's part of his thing. He's like, yo, this is more than just like, this ain't about like I'm a DJ so I get all the trappings of being a DJ.
Wow. Yeah.
And not saying that or myself or anybody else can say who is or isn't a DJ, but understand like this isn't something we do just because we don't have nothing to do on a Sunday. Like a lot of this is something we've been in for. Like myself, I've been a DJ for 22 years, and there's some DJs around that I know were DJing way before I had any inclination of ever being a DJ.
Yeah.
So this is not something we take lightly. So you're not gonna just hop up around these seasoned DJs, cats who've been DJing for 20, 30, whatever years, say I'm a DJ, and then just be out here misrepresenting what DJing is.
Yeah.
And not saying that DJing is any one thing, but like anything else. Like the same thing if we were playing basketball. Like if we out on the courts, and I'm picking my squad, I'm looking to see who's around. And if you can say, like if you say you a baller, all right, I got you, but you better not fuck up.
Word. I've actually seen somebody in the middle of their set and just move the marker, you know what I'm saying, on their set. You know, it's just like, it gets brutal.
I mean, it does, but part of that too, you know, that's something that happens specifically moving outside of the Serato or the laptop culture. When we were playing records, like I've had millions of records skip on me. But what happens then? Do you fall apart because the record skips and you don't know what to do? Or do you be like, all right, I know this record, I know the song, so even though the record skipped, I know where I'm at in the song, so I can recover. Or I know this particular record, it's going to skip the second bar of the second verse. So I know I can play the first verse and the chorus, but I got to get the fuck out of this record before it skips. So all of that comes with specifically DJs not just knowing music, but knowing your music. Or knowing that this record is pressed different than this record. It's the same song, but these two records are pressed differently. So this record here has to be turned up and EQ different than this one if I want to rock them together. Or this one is whispering and this one is yelling. Wow. And it's the exact same song. But when you have a laptop, a lot of those things don't have to worry about. So you don't have to do a lot of EQing or a lot of gain control that you have to do with regular vinyl with a laptop. And I'm not saying that's better or worse or whatever, but like what happens when you have to deal with these things?
So let's set up the story then. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
All right. So okay, let me tell you what I heard.
That's cool.
And then you follow that up.
Yeah.
So I heard where it was a DJ that basically he was up next at the redo and he opened up his laptop and basically started DJing with the laptop. What happens next?
All right. So yes and no. So at this time, and once again, this happened in what, 2010, 2011? This was years ago. I do remember the incident, but at least I'll say it how I remember it, and I'm not going to try to shade it to make myself look good or whatever. So how I remember it is, we had whatever the lineup was, we were moving towards the end of the night, and I feel like whoever was the last DJ in the lineup had either finished or was preparing to finish, and somehow, I don't know, it wasn't for me to work out or know or whatever, so I don't know how it happened, but there was another DJ who got added to come after that DJ. So this DJ comes up with his laptop, no problem, because every other DJ, my recollection, that night used a laptop, so it wasn't about the laptop. He brings his laptop up and sets his laptop on top of the turntable.
We gotta let that breathe real quick.
So, and starts, so he's plugged a mouse into his laptop. So he's not using the mouse on the laptop. He's plugged the mouse into the laptop. He's got it. So he's got the laptop on the turntable, a mouse and mouse pad on the table or what have you, and he's clicking these songs and he's doing a reggae set. So the selections were dope. He's picking dope music.
Right.
But he's playing or triggering or whatever he's doing with the songs, but he's not touching the mixer. He's not doing anything with the turntables. I don't know specifically what software he was using. I think it was Virtual DJ, but that doesn't really matter.
It don't
per
matter.
se.
Okay.
But then I'm hearing these scratch transitions to the next song. And then, so I'm not really paying attention at first. I'm just kind of seeing it. And then I realized, like, wait a minute. He hasn't touched the mixer in 3 songs.
Oh, snap.
And then I'm looking at Rich, and Rich is looking at me, and I'm looking at other DJs like, how is he doing this? I want to know, like, as a geek, as a nerd, I want, like, is he on some shit that I need to be hip to? And I'm realizing this guy has plugged his laptop, headphone jack or whatever into the mixer, and he's just aux cord basically whatever this software is, and the software is doing all of the beat matching and transitions and all these things, and he's basically just programming different songs. So I unplug the laptop.
Wow.
And someone plugs it back in. I unplug it from the mixer again. And I grabbed the mic and I was like, all right, hold on. The song selection is dope. Flat out, song selection was dope. But the redo is an event that has certain parameters.
Yeah.
Whether you play off a laptop or vinyl, that's up to you. But this auto
We're not doing
like
this.
we're not doing the computer doing the mixing and blending for us and doing the scratches. We're not doing that. That's
Right.
not what this event is. He didn't like that. I don't blame him. But I'll say this.
So the tensions got.
So he's mad and he's screaming and cussing and might have threw a mouth. I'm not gonna. He didn't have a tantrum, but you know he was clearly upset and I'm sure he was embarrassed. And that wasn't my intent, but like, yo, like that's part of what I'm saying about.
So you had the other DJs backing with.
So
How
some of
you
the DJs, even though they probably wouldn't have handled it the way I handled it, they understood exactly where I was coming from and didn't disagree. Some DJs were saying, yo, come back to the next redo, but just bring vinyl or bring your Serato vinyl or whatever, and you can do the same set.
Right,
But you have to do it within the constructs and the confines of this event. The same way I can't record a dope-ass set and go into the redo and play the set that I recorded. That's not what that is.
Right.
So
that's why do you think this story has continued to live on and on and on?
I think it's in part because people are like, some people are like, fuck Crate. He had the nerve. Who is he to say who can and can't? I get it. I don't care. Some people are like, yo, I wouldn't have done that, but it takes
you
balls.
was right about it. Yeah.
And some people are like, you know, so like, and I think part of it too is just, it's one
Was
of
you
those.
fighting that night, Craig?
It wasn't, so never was my plan to have any physical altercation with this dude.
Right.
Unless it was brought to that point by somebody else. It wasn't about him.
Right. It was about the culture.
It was
the
about
art.
it was about what we're doing, the art, and not just that, but part of me was like, and once again, this is my level of judgment and my perspective and my opinion. Like there takes a level of ego and a lack of self-awareness to come into an event, and this wasn't like it was the first redo and there was some like we had been doing the redos. This guy had been to the redo. He hangs out with other DJs.
Right.
My opinion is he wanted part of that shine. Now, it's not that he wasn't a DJ and never, I don't know all the particulars about what he's done, but my opinion is, from my limited understanding of who the guy was, whatever, that coming to the redo, seeing the crowd response and people getting love and shine or whatever else, the trappings of, once again, of being on stage, being a DJ, he wanted some of that too because to him, he's a DJ.
Exactly.
However, there takes a level, once again, of ego and a lack of self-awareness to come into an event that's been going on for several months where every DJ on the bill before you has come up, whether they played vinyl or off the laptop, they've used 2 turntables and a mixer to share and present their craft.
Yeah.
And you come up and let the laptop do what everyone else has physically been doing.
You don't do that here.
And then you put that motherfucker on the turntable. Come on, bro.
You did the Wakanda on it. We don't do that.
It's just, that's not what we do here. Now, there's plenty of places where you can go and do that, and it's fine.
Absolutely.
So it's not like I be walking into clubs and be like, oh, you don't DJ the way I think you should DJ. Like, no.
You ain't a snob like that. And you are a snob, but I mean it's
relative. But I don't. I'm a jackass, but I'm not an asshole.
Okay.
So like,
there's a difference.
Yeah, in my opinion. But it's like that's just like that's not okay to do that. The same way, you know, if it's a hip hop R&B night, like I wouldn't walk in there and just be like, I'm gonna play a country set because I want to play. Like, nah, nigga, you gotta follow the rules. However loose or tight those rules are, like.
It's some guidelines.
Yeah. So like that was just a night where I was like, nah, we're not doing this.
Yeah. Well, that story will not die. And before we go on to the next song, you have to be proud of where the redo is gone.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, because I remember it just being 10, 12, 15 DJs in there.
Yeah.
And to where it is now, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's one of the dopest monthly parties. And to add to that, like, it is a vinyl-only event. So it takes it to a different level when you have DJs, whether they're DJs who just started, been DJing for a couple years, or been DJing for 20 plus years. It's like we're not just DJing, but we're taking it back for the most part to a space where it's 2 turntables, crates of records, and the DJ presenting how they want to present.
So funny is that I DJ'd the first one, and I got leaned on twice. So that was the second time I got leaned on because they wanted to see, okay, away from the laptop.
What you got? Yeah. I mean, and I get leaned on sometimes. And it's even though, like, so people outside of the culture, I don't think they'll fully understand it, but it's not specifically a negative thing or
it's love.
Specifically a kind of what's the word? There's a specific word I'm looking for that I'm not catching right now. It'll come back to me. Intimidation. It's not to intimidate you directly, but it's like, yo, let me see what you got. Yeah. Like, help me give you the credit that you deserve. But I'm not going to just give you my credit card.
Yeah.
You're going to have to make me buy something. I'm not just giving you the money. So, like, I get leaned on, and I look over, and I'm like, oh, that's what you want to do? Oh, okay, watch this.
Right.
Or, before you come over here, let me let you know I'm not fucking with you today. So it's like, it's that kind of like.
It's fun.
Yeah, and it's camaraderie, and it's like understanding, like, yo, like, all DJs are not created equal.
Yeah.
And that's not a negative or positive. We're all different. The same way all singers aren't the same, all drummers aren't the same, all DJs aren't the same. So when you're around other cats, even if we all play in the same 5 records, I want every DJ, and I want other DJs to expect that every DJ presents these same 5 records in a different way.
We're going to talk about that when we come back. Got Crate Digger here. We're getting into the number 4 spot. This is my cousin. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I mean, it's my show. I can do what I want. Ron Riley is coming in at the number 4 spot, and just to see what he's done as far as his education in music. He was once a member of the Columbus famous group, Fatty Cool, not just Columbus famous, but worldwide. So definitely he has a new project out, and I definitely want to shine some light on it. So let's get into the number 4 video. It's Ron Riley, Virtual Reality. Let's get it. Crate Digger's here.
Virtual reality.
Is this real? Is any of this real? So real. Are these feelings inadequate? I ask because the way society is structured, it used to be simple like adjectives, but my self-esteem is now non-responsive. But I guess I should have said negative, like the sign I'm looking for. See, I used to be the Virgin Mary, but Joseph prostituted me loosely. Now I'm married Magdalene Mar, while my heart plays violins accompanied by street symphonies that show no sympathy in D minor. I'm unhuman. But you can't trap this ghost inside a shell. My life was scarlet. I was a sex slave with some upgrades like plastic titties and inflatable booties. So many modifications that fit the world's definition of beauty. But the beast loves to prey on me. Bell hell locked in mental cells behind brain cells to tell me stories of Jesus of Nazareth and the women at the well. But this is no fairy tale. Will I ever convert? Is my life rare? Or am I a surrogate? A part of a scientific experiment? A lab rat? Cause my black? Or am I prejudiced against myself because I don't like what I see? But what do I see? I see a little girl trying to copy and paste like command keys. God, could you please put a virus on this virtual reality?
Something that keeps you relevant, where people may have forgot about you, or like, you know, myself, for the most part.
We back in, y'all. We just still talking, though.
Yeah, I was branded as a certain type of DJ. Like, Crate plays this type of music.
Right.
So when I can use the redo to be like, I'm going to use the redo in the way it was created and do this set of all Outkast music. But I'm playing the foundations of Outkast, like the shit that you have no idea where organized music is sampling this stuff from or building this from.
But okay, so we're gonna talk about, cause we right here because I remember that set. That's exactly where I was going in my questions. So there was a lot of good to that set, right? So you're gonna have to explain the set to me.
Yeah.
So not only were you breaking out Outkast records, that's when Rich said, okay, Crate has cheat codes because you was doing loops. And you know what I'm saying, you was doing things that, you know what I'm saying, okay, we know this is an all vinyl set, but Crate's got loops and he's blending certain loops with certain things, right? And you were telling the story. So everybody's intrigued and you taking us on this journey. And then mid-set, you get lost in your loop. And it's like the loop is going and it's like building and building, and then you walk off. And true artists, like, what happened?
So I don't remember specifically all of that set, but for the most part, so two things. Like the redo is an all vinyl party, so there's no laptops included. But once again, as technology allows, there's certain things that I can do with the mixer. So for example, the mixer has an echo function where it can take whatever section of music and play it back in decreasing volumes to create a echo effect. I just understood, like, if I turn the setting to this, instead of having it play back at 50%, if I turn it to 100%, the echo doesn't diminish. It just repeats like a looper.
Damn.
So now I can play this, and instead of clicking on this part, it echo, echo, echo out, I can have it and also because I can make that independent of that same channel, I can now loop in 2 counts or however many counts of a kick drum or a double kick or whatever, or bass line or whatever. And because I have that set to not decrease, I can now trigger or scratch in a snare and hit the paddle and scratch in that snare and basically sample in on top of what I already had. So now I have da-dun, 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 and I still have this turntable to keep doing that if I want to add, or I can drop an acapella over here, or I can do cut. So all of that is still being done with vinyl that you can't just do with vinyl.
Right.
But the mixer allows that level of kind of digital manipulation. So for me, once again, going back to what we talked about earlier, like if these are my tools, I'm gonna be an artist.
Nobody would think about that shit with you though.
I don't know why, but I don't think so. Look, I get it.
Craig is talking to me like I'm sitting up there like, yeah, I get what you said in my head. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck he talking.
So like I get that, but once again, it's like I tell people all the time, it's like you always have people who come up with different ideas, and sometimes when they come up with the idea, you're like, oh, that's crazy, and then they explain it, you be like, oh, that's all you did? God damn, I'm thinking this. So for me, once again, like, because I'm not afraid to take kind of risks, because I'm not worried per se about like if I don't do well here, people are gonna think I'm not a good DJ or whatever. Certain things, once again, because I've done the work and I've kind of earned a certain space, and I understand that, I know when and how to take advantage of all that work that I've done. It's like, once again, like, why work 40 years if you can't then at the end of that retire in a nice house with a nice car and be able to do whatever you want to do for the rest of your life.
Right.
So like, I've put in the work to earn a certain level of whatever you want to call it, to where I can do certain shit because I've earned it.
Exactly. And
so
you're inquisitive. So
yeah, so that's one of those things where it's like, I'm not worried about going into the redo specifically to show that I'm a good DJ or to prove that I can rock a party. Like, I've rocked parties for 22 years.
Right.
Like, people have seen me even in clubs that there's more staff than patrons in the club.
Sure.
They'll be sitting at the bar like, I just walked into this bar for a meeting. There are 7 people in here, not including staff. And Crate is killing it like he's on Summer Jam screen. Like, so for me, like, as an artist, whether it's one person, 1,000 people, like, none of that shit matters.
Yeah. Now, come on, Crate. You come from education, though, and you come from an education household. So how does that play a factor in you taking it to a different level? From an you take sometimes even DJing to an educational level more than the average motherfucker. I mean, for real, for the average person who came up with, you know, mom and dad who just had crates, like Prime, me, just had tons of records around. You also had those records, but you also had that educational upbringing, right?
So part of it is, I was raised, and I have an older sister and 2 younger brothers. And we were specifically raised to, no matter what it is you're doing, the expectation was to do it to the best of your ability.
Sure.
So whether that's playing drums, playing soccer, 6th grade math, whatever it was, you're going to do this to the best of your ability. You don't got to be great. You don't got to be perfect. You don't have to be good at it. But if your best is not that good, it's just something you're not good at.
Yeah.
If your best is very good and this is something you're good at, you can't just be good at the stuff you're good at and BS on the stuff that you're not good at. So the expectation was always do the best that you can at any and everything that you do.
Wow.
So with that being said, I'm kind of bred and genetically spliced to be pushing at all times.
Sure.
And sometimes that's a great thing. And sometimes it's not so good because you find yourself trying to push and attain spaces that maybe, had I had a different mindset, I would see, you know what, this space isn't really for me. Let me put my energy somewhere else. So it's not all love. It's not all green.
Right.
So there's both of those kind of aspects to it. But in the end, like, before, and this is way before I had any inclination of being a DJ. This is before I even understood or knew about hip hop. I was raised from whatever I can remember that I'm going to expect you to do the best that you can at anything that you do.
Did you accept that or did you fight it?
As anybody, I fought it at times.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
soccer was the first sport I ever played. I love soccer.
Right.
And I can't explain why I was good at it. I wasn't, soccer wasn't like something that was in my family that I grew up watching and then, like, so, but I was fast. I've always been athletic. I come from a family of athletes. So for whatever reason, I was good at soccer. So being good at soccer wasn't that hard.
Okay.
But not being a class clown, that's a little harder for me. But I gotta not goof off, or I can't just get B's and think that's okay when I can really get A's.
Yeah. And then, you know, I'm a Columbus Public baby. You know, I had a problem with alternative kids because y'all thought y'all was the shit.
Well, you know, we are. It's not your fault. But, you know, so, you know, but,
it's all good,
yeah.
though.
But, you know, so it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, once again, it's like I've been bred to not just do the best that I can at everything that I do, but I got 2 younger, I'm the oldest of the brothers.
Yeah.
So I got 2 younger brothers, and we all know kind of sibling rivalry, whether it's brothers or sisters, they're going to push you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you don't push back, they're going to push you over, and you just
wasn't having that
yeah,
shit.
no, you know, I'm the shortest of all my brothers.
I was going to ask that.
But I'm still the smartest.
You ever get accused of the Napoleon complex, though?
I do, but my attitude and my persona isn't based on my height or lack thereof. For me, like I have to, so I won't say it's a story, but like, to be honest, like I have to see pictures sometimes to remember, like, oh shit, I forget O's that much taller than I am.
Right.
Or Rich is that much taller than I am. Like, I'm 5'8" on a good day. So it's like, but I don't move through life thinking that size or height or whatever is the thing that makes or break. Like,
right.
I'm taller than music. he's more famous than me. Got a couple more dollars than me. So
Right. What?
You know, and most of us, I won't say most of us, a lot of us are taller than moms, but we ain't trying shit with moms.
But when you go back to and I hate these posts, who's the best DJ in Columbus? It's Crate Digger. It's O. I mean, you got all these people that'll go down that list. And does that mean something to you when you make that particular top five?
I appreciate when people appreciate the art that I put out. And I'm going to get back to your question right away. But I just put out a post, I think it was yesterday. And I say this kind of because you asked the question to give kind of context to what you're asking. I was asked to do an event late August of this year. And the date that the event was, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm booked on that. Can't make it. They're like, oh, we really want you. I was like, all right, well, you know, I would love to do it, but I'm booked. He was like, you know what? Hold on. Let me see if we can move the event. So it's not like they just want me to DJ. Like, this event has other artists and other things.
Right.
So I'm very thankful, always appreciative, and do not ever, ever, ever take for granted that my art and how it has touched people and however it's, in whatever way it's touched them, not only do they want me to do the event, but me being booked and them even considering moving the event to another night to accommodate me being part of it. Like, I don't ever get anyone ever get it twisted that I take that for granted or don't appreciate it. With that being said, it's like anything else. It's like people's favorites or people's best is oftentimes based on whatever their preference is and not always on objective things. So I appreciate it. I understand to an extent why my skill set is seen as better than others or the best of the city or whatever. But at the same time, like, I don't like cooked leaves. I don't like cabbage. I don't like greens. I don't like spinach. But you got to try my fuck your grandma. It's not about her. I don't like cooked leaves. So it don't matter who present it. It don't matter who cook it. It ain't about that. This is something I don't like. There's some people who, no matter who the DJ is, they have their favorites.
Yeah.
Based on whatever, you're entitled to that. My thing, what does the best mean? Like, what does that really mean, and what is it based on? Because once again, all DJs aren't the same. So if you really have the conversation with me, yes, I'm better than this person and this person and this person doing this, but this person is better than me doing this. These folks are way better than me doing this. This person who's in Columbus don't even put me in the same conversation as them because they have 20 plus years on me. So to that, and once again, to kind of to not brag at all, but to kind of help illuminate my point, there has been times where not just, but including Kid Capri is coming to Columbus, Kid Capri is spinning. I want to watch Kid Capri. I'm studying. I'm not worried about touching no turntables at all tonight. I'm focused on this guy. He's a legend. He's part of the foundation of hip hop, specifically when we talk about DJ culture. And I got people coming, hey, yo, when you coming up, man? Are you spinning? Like, yo, dude, do you understand what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah. And
you worried about me DJing tonight?
Yeah.
You really think that I'm gonna get on and give you a better show than Kid Capri? You out of your fucking mind.
But there was okay, so going down that road, people were saying there's too much kumbaya going on in Columbus when it comes to DJing. And I remember one night, and I'm gonna put everybody on blast. It was Beat Bangers had a not so good set, and so Dami said something. I was like, okay, if you feel that way about it, we can move all these people back and we can get it going. Do you think that Columbus DJs are scared to battle each other?
Yes and no. Part of it is a lot of DJs don't have I guess the best way to explain it for everyone to understand, don't have a full toolbox. So there's some cats who are great rock at parties, some cats who have amazing scratch and kind of DMC type routines. Very few DJs have a full repertoire where they can blend, cut, scratch, know music to know this comes for that. Like, very few DJs have that full repertoire. So if we're going to talk about a battle, like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about who can talk the most shit and get hype on the mic? We talking about who can be immaculate in their technical delivery? Or what is the... Because a lot of times, like, a lot of cats, if you ask them what is a DJ battle, they don't really know. And I don't really fault them because times have changed. The same way you used to have a band, that band in the club got to be rocking. Because if you don't, there might be some headhunters out there who will walk up on stage while you playing and take your gig and your shoes off the stage mid-set. Damn. So that's not something that's just hip hop. That's a musician. So competition is competition.
Sure.
But once again, yeah, I think some people are scared of competition, in part because that's not about being a DJ. That's about their personality and lack of confidence therein, or knowing their shortcomings and feeling like feeling like they can't present themselves as human beings that have shortcomings.
Right.
Like even myself, I feel like I have a very well-rounded repertoire, but I know there's a lot of things I'm just not good at. So I'm not gonna try to outbe somebody else at what they do. Or
you bust a lot of ass though. I
So-
ain't gonna front. We got Crate Digger
But
here.
part of that too is like, once again, it's like I want my Monday to be better than my Sunday. I want my Wednesday to be better than my Tuesday.
Yeah.
And that's not about this DJ. Like I'm always pushing myself to be better, greater, whatever, more like whatever the is.
Yeah.
I want to push myself to. Like I've been doing this shit for 22 years. Like if it's just about playing music, like I do that in my sleep. That's fucking boring. Like.
No, that's real.
And we haven't really pushed into it, but like living the life as an artist,
Yeah.
like if you're not pushing and really kind of stressing your humanity for your art, like why are you going through all the other shit you got to do and go through as an artist, as a musician, as whatever your art is?
Sure.
Like living the life as an artist, why would you put yourself through that life if you're not pushing yourself in other ways for your art to be that thing that, despite not having a lot of money or not being famous, or if I did this in this corporate or whatever arena or space or whatever, I would have these trappings, but because I do it for this and I'm not willing to compromise these things, I don't have the money that someone less talented has, or I don't have the money that someone doing this half the amount of time that I've been doing it has, et cetera, et cetera. So like if I'm not like out here trying to make myself better than I was the day before, like what the fuck am I really doing?
True. Shout out to Jamer, because that's exactly why he does what he does. Got to get into this number 3 video. It's Dale Gold, and this is so befitting right here. This is so befitting that Crate is here, because me and Crate both had the privilege of actually being the DJs for the 100 drums, 100 round drums, right? 100 round drums. As far as Sunny Sundays goes, Sunny is a great friend of mine and Crate Digger. So when I saw the video, like I said, this was not an actual video. This was just a clip of Sunny Sundays, and I thought so highly of it. I said, oh, we got to make it a video. So I cut it up, and now it's on the countdown. Magnificent 7, Dale Gold. I done came up featuring my man DJ Crate Digger. Let's get into it.
It's Dale Gold, man. Checking it out at Sunny Sundays. We in house. I'm here with 100 round drums. DJ Crate Digger. Let's get into it one time. Yeah. Little nigga, I done came up. Yeah. Now they know my name in the city, huh? Little nigga, hey, look, I done came up. Say what? Yeah. Now they know my name in the city, huh? Ringing bells in the city. Got the whole world fucking with me from the meantime to Cincy. I know they fucking with me. Pulling up in the bucket in my dream is a Bentley. Guaranteed to lose a bet if you bet against me. But I remember days niggas wouldn't even mention me. Now they mini me's like a centipede. I just creep on the fucking track. All my enemies, they be last when I fucking rap. They ain't send me when it come to that. Half of y'all last on the TV screen. All of y'all mirages, y'all like Creflo Dollars. Trying to get more dollars while I get massages. Just peep my logic. Just drop the EP, it got niggas nodding. Got bitches bobbing, prophesizing profits from my fucking noggin. Stacking more deposits. I'm a Parmesan mode, I'm Papa Johnson. I'm Papa Johnson, I be really saucing. I be really lying if I said I got it. I'm plotting, rerouting, can't stop me. Diddy bopping, people's champion, like I'm Rocky. Certified, put a stamp on them, can't copy. Just a young kid with an old soul. Coming with that throwback like I hit the heel toe. But you can never catch me on my heels though. Down bad, real low. That's what I made this for, nigga. I done came up. Say what? Now they know my name in the city, huh? Little nigga, hey, look, I done came up. Say what? Yeah. Now they know my name in in the city, huh? Ringing bells in the city. Got the whole world fucking with me. Where was y'all when I needed ya? You was all on the phone, on the media. All them followers, you ain't even leading none. Tweet, get no retweet, you deleted it. She a fine girl, but she too conceited, yeah. In her own world, I just leave it up. Blowing on the herbs, so you hear me loud and clear. I've been only rapping for about a year, so it's very rare that I spit it like this here. Better when I'm top tier. If you unaware that I'm not him, you won't ever clear your comments. Go through one ear, then out one. They doubt and must doubt fire, they spouses and houses. Clean the counters and couches while I just figure out the best option for me. Cause niggas stands out even when we take a knee. They say the land of the free, but everything gotta be. Close my eyes, that's when I seen the king to be. But nonsense is what they feeding me. The greed of politics, police brutalities, it's hard to balance. So we get out the balance beams. We ain't no calories, I need me a salary so I can pay Sally Mae. It's hard ride my way, but like that J. Cole tape, nigga, I done came up. Say what? Yeah. Now they know my name in the city, huh? Yeah, hey, look, little nigga, I done came up. Say what? Yeah. Now they know my name in the city, huh? Ringing bells in the city. I got the whole world fucking with me, I done came up. Say what? Now they know my name in the city, huh? That's your dad shit. Look, I done came up. Say what? Now they know my name in the city, huh? Ringing bells in the city. I got the whole world fucking with me, yeah. 100 round drums. Yeah. Hey. Hey. Yeah. 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 Let's get it. Yeah. I done came up. Yeah, I done came up. Hey, look, I done came up. Hey, look, I done came up. Nigga, I done came up. Now they know my name in the city, huh? Ringing bells in the city. I got the whole world fucking with me, nigga. Yeah. Just let it breathe on them. Feel me? Yeah. Sunny Sundays.
Here we go. All right, this is the Magnificent 7 Countdown Show. That was Dale Gold, and Craig didn't even know that, you know, it was a video. It's a video now. I don't think it was a video, but it's a video now.
World premiere.
There it is. Premiere.
Yeah, we saw it first together.
Right. It's been on the countdown a couple weeks, but yeah, I'm glad you're on it.
I mean, I was there, so I saw it when it happened, but I didn't know that there was any video.
Yeah, we did it. When you see something sweet, you just got to go with it,
Hey,
man.
I ain't mad at you.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Deo, Sonny, the whole Lima Bean crew, man. They all, ever since I know them cats since, I want to say like 2006-ish, when I first linked with those cats. Always been solid ever since day one.
You always link up with the bands, though, man. I mean, that's just you. You just a musician, man. But this last story, I had to tell it the way it was told, the way the day went. So I'm gonna take you back May 2016, and basically we were all down at 300 Long Street, and you know, everybody did their set. Everybody that was supposed to do a set. It was O, Rich, me, Jay Rawls, and then I think you headed up. You closed the show. So as you were doing your set, you know, and I don't know if it was mid-set or end of set. You ended your set, but I know I was outside, and all of a sudden I was talking to Rich. Rich ran into the spot, into the venue, and all you heard from the street, which made me run in here, was 7, 7, 7, 7, and you just kept playing it back. And I think you went back to back for like 2 minutes straight. It seemed like you just zoned out. For the people, can you please tell us what that set was all about?
So anybody who's watched the show, listened to the show, knows the King 7. Dope brother. I can't remember when I met him. I just remember circa 2005, 2006-ish.
Yeah.
You know, I started spending a much more time around him because it was part of Usual Suspects. Before we were Usual Suspects and we come together, kind of just, you know, he was O's man, and you know, Rich and O and myself and Sev, and then Tommy and Rawls, and just and Stan, and as we all came together, and eventually formed Most Wanted Crew. We went to New York, and just like that trip, because Seven and myself are very much alike. Like, we're not really always easy to read.
Yeah.
Like, if you know us, like, you understand the personalities, personas. So me and Sev was just having a great time, going back and forth, trading barbs and catching each other off guard, just having a dope, you know, just being family.
Yeah.
So when he passed, it was something that definitely caught me off guard. I definitely wasn't ready for it, but for whatever reason, well, I won't say for whatever reason, but I'm a very logical person. So like my emotional expressions happen within the context of the logic around it. Mm-hmm. So like if I'm mad about something, I logically understand like I'm mad, and this is why I'm mad because of this, not because of this, but I'm mad because of this.
Right. So
when it happened, my emotional kind of processing of it was slow because I logically couldn't process some of the parts of what was happening and going on.
Sure.
I understood what was happening, but I didn't emotionally process it really until around that time. Mm-hmm. So just in the process of doing my set, and like that was my kind of my final, I won't say final grieving, but like that was my official kind of grieving moment.
Yeah.
Plus like saying my goodbye, so to speak.
Yeah.
So for me, I was rocking the set. I dropped Slum Village. What's that track? Look of Love. I just dropped the loop, and then I found myself cutting 7 from 10 Crack Commandments. I just kept cutting the 7.
Yeah.
And eventually I got tired of hearing the beat. So I just took the beat off, doubled the 7, and I just was. So that was just kind of me speaking that musical energy and that spirit, just from one DJ to another, just saying my goodbyes, letting him know that I love and miss him, and like, you know, he's family. So like I said, I did zone out. I have no idea how long I was doing it, but it just got to the point where it's like the grief and the emotion of it got to the point where like I didn't want to, like, it's not that I wanted to stop, I just couldn't keep going.
Yeah.
So I just remember like finally being at the point where I was like, fuck, why?
Yeah.
So I took the record off. I was like, just the emotional response. I took the record off, slammed the record down, record shattered. I tried to walk off, and I still have my earbuds in, so I kind of walk off, and I'm still attached to the mixer, and I just went in the back and kind of let it all out.
Yeah.
And like from that moment on, like I still miss him every day.
Yeah.
And then like videos will come up, memories will come up, I'll see things, and like, so I know he's still with us, but like that was just kind of the watershed moment for me to kind of get that out of my system, be at peace with it, whether I like it, don't like it, understand it, don't understand it.
Yeah.
I processed it, but I mean, that's, you know,
yeah.
How do you say good, you know, that's just, for me, you know, when you say goodbye specifically to another musician, you kind of have to do it in that language that is me speaking to him, and other people just were able to hear that conversation.
Yeah, and it's just really good that he lives still through a lot of us. I mean, when you think about the funny moments and stuff like that, and this is why it just makes sense. Like, just like the whole Dale Gold, you know, there's certain things that connect, right? Mm-hmm. And so I could have did a top 10, but something just said 7.
Top 7, yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it just went from there. So you could just tell when you're connected to somebody spiritually, and we're always going to be connected to that brother for real, man. Last question, and we do got to go because the producers in the back.
They trying to kick me out.
Yeah, exactly.
This is why I didn't want to come on in the first place. Now I'm here, y'all trying to get rid of me.
No doubt. But and that's Craig putting on. But that leads to my last question. For somebody who is as dope as you are, you really don't have an ego, and that's what shocks a lot of people, bro. It's that, like, this dude, like, I'm seeing you be like, all right, go ahead and play. Like, you don't really, I don't know what it is about you. It's like, if somebody be like, Craig, we don't want you coming this week, you be like, all right.
So really 2 things. It's like I learned the hard way, specifically in college. Shouts out to Kentucky State University. My man D Cherry in the back, K-State in the building.
Oh,
anyway,
dang.
Back to the story. I learned in undergrad that like there's some things you don't have control over. Yeah. So I learned to put my energy into things at the point where I have control over. and not get myself all bent out of shape and flustered and emotionally drained over shit that I don't have no control over. So with that being said, like if the club don't want me or the promoters don't want me or there's a miscommunication or whatever, and like, all right, what I can do what? I'm gonna go down there and force myself to be the DJ. I'm gonna get mad and then what? Like,
right.
And then like once again, I didn't get into DJ, so I didn't even learn how to DJ to be a DJ. Like it was just, shouts out to DJ Sakari. He and I were good friends. He lived down the hall from me, so in undergrad, he gave me an opportunity just to learn, to physically touch turntables, and because I had seen it, I had musical ideas in my head, I took to it. But I say all that to say I didn't learn to become a DJ to DJ. So like being a DJ is just a persona of who I am as a person, but it don't define me to where I gotta do this and that as a DJ to define who I am.
Sure.
So I think in part that's allowed other things that maybe I could have taken advantage of to not be there for me or whatever. But at the same time, it's like whatever you think of Crate as a DJ, like that don't change who I am.
Yeah.
It don't really hurt my feelings. Of course, we all want people to like what we do and appreciate our art. But like if you don't like it or you think so-and-so is a better DJ than me, I don't give a fuck. I still got kids to take care of. I still got bills to pay. I still got to tie my shoes. I still got to brush my... nothing changes other than your opinion of me.
Yeah, yeah.
And just as much as some people love me and like me, anything could happen to where they love and like somebody else the next day. So just understanding like those things to an extent aren't real to me. Like some people know Crate, but some people don't know me as the person.
Yeah,
so like I'm not real to them.
Yeah.
Like Crate's the real thing to them. I'm not real.
That's why we brought you on the show, so they could see that other side and your personality more. So
But don't fuck with me.
That's it. You got good things happening. I mean, I'm gonna let you finish, but it's you got a documentary about you. They've called you down at the Columbus Museum to do a lot of things, man. So whoever got anything to say about Crate, your body of work speaks for itself. So we appreciate you continuing to push the culture and push the art with the things that you continue to do, and that the Columbus Arts organization, they respect what you do too.
I appreciate the opportunity to do so. So I tell people it's like I'm given the opportunity to do certain things. Sometimes it's things that other people don't have the opportunity to do. So I have a responsibility to represent in a certain way to where asking me to do something isn't a mistake. And ideally, it leaves the door open for other people to come in and do their thing and kind of continue that legacy and kind of that reciprocity and that concept of Sankofa and all that. So.
No doubt. Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Pleasure.
Tell them where they can find you, bro.
Each and every day, 24/7, 365. You can catch me on www.cratedigga.com. That's KRATEDIGGA.com. I'm on Snapchat. Let's back that up. I'm on IG, Facebook, Twitter, all that at Crate Digga, KRATEDIGGA. I'm on Snapchat every blue moon to the point I don't even remember what, so don't bother. It's not even that interesting anyway. SoundCloud.com/Crate Digga. But ideally, tonight you can catch me at the Pelican Room. I'm about to run out of here now and head down to the Pelican Room. But go to the website. It's got music, it's got videos, it's got pictures, it's got the documentary that was mentioned. And ideally, when I really am on my shit, I also have all my events listed. So if you want to know where I'm at next, go to the website, check it out. But most of all, just come out. Be out. So I might pop up somewhere. You never know.
If you come out to the Pelican Room tonight, please make sure you read his hat, because he definitely means what he's saying. He's saying what he means.
If you can't read the hat, don't worry. Don't worry about the hat. The hat might come off, but it's on my turntable cases.
Sorry, no request.
So it's clear.
Join us right back here next week. We'll do it all over again. It's the Magnificent 7 Countdown Show. Countdown the top 7 dope artists in Ohio, and we love what we're doing. We're still continuing to grow by leaps and bounds, and we are so glad that you have been a part of the show. If you're watching it on Facebook Live or anywhere on our streaming sites, YouTube, please share it. Please tell a friend about it. And if you have an artist that you want us to play the video, we'll do that as well. All right, until next time, Magnificent 7, I am your auntie's favorite DJ. God loves you, and I do too. Oh, let me tell you the number 2 and 1 video. The number 2 video you're going to see after this, because we got to get my man down to the Pelican Room, is Drea, We Can't Rock. And the number 1 video, again, consecutive for this week, my man is killing it, EKT40, Straight Cat. We out. Peace.
getting money on that same block. Ready for whatever with that thing caught. Shorty stay loyal, kept the chain locked. Get into the bag, bitch, I can't stop. Never fuck with niggas at a name drop. Nah, we was really eating, had the game locked. Standing on a cloud that they can't top. Now you hating on me, so we can't rock. Never stumble when you rumble in the jungle. Hit you with that shit that make you trip over and fumble. I come from the mud, when I came up, I stayed humble. I stayed on my grind like guys living in a tunnel. Now I got a buzz lit, cuz call me Bumble. Bust your homie head, now that nigga need a frontal. Put a muzzle on his mouth, shit, since all he do is mumble. Turn these bitches into toast with the flame, make them crumble. Get out the way, before you catch a fade. Looking all afraid, Dre got it made. Getting laid, and she getting paid. Niggas throwing shade, wish they could trade. She wish she would've stayed. Shout out to my partners, Young Mooski and Renegade. Hey, we was getting money on that same block. Ready for whatever with that thing caught. Shorty stay loyal, kept the chain locked. Get into the bag, bitch, I can't stop. Never fuck with niggas at a name drop. Nah, we was really eating, had the game locked. Standing on a cloud that they can't top. Now you hating on me, so we can't rock. I had to dismiss a couple of misfits. Shorty got a nigga, but I'm still on the wish list. Heartin' on my pictures, now a nigga is pissed. I sent the kiss emoji, now I ain't having a bitch fish. I tell them ask me if you got questions. I can tell you got a problem looking at your expressions. And every time you mention me, there's so much aggression. I'm too real for these fakes, there'll never be no connection. My circle's so small, I can see my reflection. These niggas plotting on me, gotta keep some protection. Hard-headed niggas never follow directions. I told them stop all of that hating, boy, you're blocking your blessings. We was getting money on that same block. Ready for whatever with that thing caught. Shorty stay loyal, kept the chain locked. Get into the bag, bitch, I can't stop. Never fuck with niggas at a name drop. Nah, we was really eating, had the game locked. Standing on a cloud that they can't top. Now you hating on me, so we can't rock.
Going down. Round the way, what was up?
I'm gonna kill you when I see you, bitch ass dude.
Hey, Jay, y'all niggas is bitches, you hear me? Fuck the ops crazy, stop calling my phone, capping ass niggas.
I'm gonna catch you for that.
Many niggas straight cap. Lying on fucking rappers. Bitch, I'm about to state facts. Yeah. Many niggas straight cap with they bitch ass. Yeah, I'm about to state facts with my rich ass. These niggas do straight racks with they snitch ass. Straight cap. Many niggas straight cap with they bitch ass. Yeah, I'm about to state facts with my rich ass. These niggas do straight racks with they snitch ass. Straight cap. He said, nigga, if you stupid, got paid just to shoot me, but you shooter, not a shooter. Let me show you how to do it. Robbing for his Cuban, don't reach for that tulip. Bitch, I keep this fully. Bitch, don't make me pull it. Pistol run down on that party. Hit him with that 40. Son, don't go retarded. Please don't get that Lubo started. My niggas ain't talking. Up it, then we spark it. Make me call them Marcus. Bitch, you better be cautious. Osama, he the scammer. Crazy, ain't shooting no camera trigger. Trey up in that slammer. Fuck the app, no, he can't stand up. Fuck the ass, no, he can't stand up. Free trade, bitch. Fuck the ass, no, he can't stand up. Don't make me call a D-Way. Just do what he say. Oh, that boy just obey. Hit that boy from both ways. Yeah. Hit that boy from both ways. Yeah. Many niggas straight cap with they bitch ass. Yeah, I'm about to state facts with my rich ass. These niggas do straight racks with they snitch